It's one of the most recognized fast food names on the planet. KFC's red and white buckets brim with golden, crispy chicken that people devour by the millions every single day. But have you ever paused to wonder, how can they possibly supply that much chicken at that level of consistency to so many restaurants worldwide? Today, we're peeling back the curtain on the mass production machinery behind KFC's fried chicken, revealing the immense scale, the precise processes, and even a few lingering controversies that might surprise you. You clicked on this video for the inside scoop, so let's jump right into the heart of the operation. The factory systems where countless chicken pieces are prepared at lightning speed. Forget any romantic notion of small, rural farms individually supplying chickens with gentle farmhands. This is industrial-scale production. Modern technology, specialized facilities, and precise breeding programs all merge to supply KFC with a near-endless stream of raw chicken, ready to be turned into those crispy, savory pieces we all know. From the very start, when the chickens are just eggs, this process is calculated down to the tiniest details. Each prospective chick comes from large poultry farms, capable of housing thousands upon thousands of parent hens. Typically, you'll find meticulously timed schedules for laying eggs. Each day, these hens can produce an enormous quantity of eggs that roll gently onto conveyor belts, landing in sanitized storage rooms. It's not just about collecting random eggs. Everything is standardized, from the humidity levels of the storage facilities to the times at which eggs are rotated. Some critics have raised questions about whether this intense level of mass production is entirely humane. Animal welfare groups have pointed out that parent chickens on enormous breeding farms often live in confined spaces, though the fast food chain maintains that their suppliers follow strict guidelines to ensure comfortable conditions. So, who's right? The debate remains ongoing. But as for the eggs themselves, they're kept carefully controlled in massive incubators, which replicate the warmth of a mother hen. You might not realize it, but these high-tech incubators even tilt the eggs regularly, imitating a hen's gentle movements. This keeps embryos from sticking to the shells and ensures an even, healthy development. After about 18 to 19 days, the eggs hatch in large batches. At this point, some rumors suggest unnatural growth hormones might be introduced. But KFC has repeatedly denied such practices, stating that strict laws in many countries ban the use of growth hormones in poultry. Regardless, you can't argue that the scale is breathtaking. Once the new chicks hatch, they're examined for defects, and only the healthiest ones move to the next phase. That alone represents thousands, sometimes tens of thousands of chicks per facility. They receive a round of vaccinations, some even before leaving the shell, and are packaged in specialized ventilated boxes for transport. Within days, they're en route to large grow-out farms dedicated to raising these birds specifically for high-volume consumption. Now, here's where size really matters. Once at the rearing farms, the chicks are introduced into enormous temperature-controlled barns. These barns might hold countless tiny birds, each scurrying over soft litter or wood shavings. Automated feeding systems deliver precisely formulated diets high in protein and nutrients. The farmers, often contracted suppliers, aim to raise the birds swiftly without compromising uniformity, meaning they want each chicken to reach roughly the same weight at about the same time. But is this process truly as idyllic as the official images imply? Some critics say the birds have limited space and seldom experience anything close to a natural environment. Others argue that modern developments in poultry farming have significantly improved conditions compared to what existed decades ago. KFC itself has pledged multiple times to work with certified suppliers who comply with humane guidelines, though the exact interpretation of humane can be subjective. For the chickens, life on these farms is all about rapid growth. Most are ready for harvest as soon as they hit the target weight, typically around 5 to 8 weeks of age, depending on whether they're smaller females or larger males. On harvest day, specialized teams or even automated chicken catcher machinery arrives at the barn. With suction-based or gently corralling systems, the fully grown chickens are herded into crates or modules. Despite claims of gentleness, some footage from certain operations has caused public outcry when rough handling was seen. But again, that's where official KFC statements about continuous improvement often come in. Then we transition to the point that sparks everyone's curiosity. Inside the processing plant. This is where mass production transforms living animals into the raw chicken pieces that eventually end up in your local KFC. The birds arrive on trucks, sometimes overnight, to massive facilities designed like assembly lines. Upon arrival, each truck is unloaded, and the chickens are placed onto conveyor belts where they are quickly and reportedly painlessly put to sleep before slaughter. At many modern processing plants, the chain-like system runs almost non-stop, handling thousands of chickens within hours. The birds pass through scalding tanks where hot water helps loosen feathers. Next, specialized plucking machines use rubber fingers to remove feathers in mere seconds. It might sound gruesome, but from a purely mechanical perspective, it's an impressive feat of engineering. Workers or robotic arms inspect each bird for any missed feathers, deformities, or issues, making sure only acceptable chickens move forward. From there, automated cutters remove feet, heads, and internal organs, channeling them to their own byproduct stream, often used in pet food or other commercial products. The cleaned carcasses get sorted on separate lines, swiftly dividing each chicken into standard portions: breasts, thighs, drumsticks, and wings. The leftover pieces, backs, necks, etc. have their own destinations. Every part is utilized in some manner, ensuring minimal waste. Now let's talk about a highly guarded step: the seasoning and breading process. While the legend of KFC revolves around Colonel Sanders' secret blend of 11 herbs and spices, the mass production reality is that huge mixers and automated measuring systems handle industrial-scale volumes of flour, seasonings, and other coating ingredients. Workers on the line might operate rotating drums or tumblers that evenly distribute breading across thousands of pieces at a time. Some have speculated that the secret recipe we taste today isn't the exact same one that originated decades ago. According to KFC, that's just a rumor. The official stance is that the brand still uses Colonel Sanders' recipe, locked away in a Kentucky safe. Others claim versions have changed over the years to reduce cost or adapt to varying markets. Whichever side you believe, there's no denying the brand invests heavily in quality control, especially with how central that crispy coating is to the KFC identity. Next comes the pressure frying technique, a method Colonel Sanders championed from the beginning. Instead of frying in an open vat at extremely high temperatures, pressurized fryers cook the chicken faster and at lower temperatures, trapping moisture inside. On a large scale, these specialized fryers might occupy entire sections of a factory or an industrial kitchen, each unit cooking dozens of pieces at once. By the time the chicken emerges from that fryer, it's typically golden brown with a crunchy crust on the outside and hot, juicy meat on the inside, exactly what keeps customers lining up. The question is, how does all of this fit into a global empire? KFC has factories and contracted suppliers around the world. In the United States, plants are massive, but so are the ones in Europe, Asia, and beyond. Shipping containers full of pre-processed, frozen, or chilled chicken often travel across regions to meet demand. Some countries have unique supply chains that incorporate local farms, while others import from international partners to keep up with the brand's enormous needs. Inevitably, controversies pop up across these global networks. Over the years, there have been accusations about antibiotic overuse or genetically modified feed. Animal rights organizations have periodically launched campaigns alleging subpar conditions at certain suppliers. While KFC frequently states that it enforces a strict code of conduct for sourcing, the debates on animal welfare and factory farming remain passionate. In some parts of the world, KFC has faced boycotts for different reasons, ranging from labor disputes to cultural missteps. Yet the brand's popularity rarely declines for long. Many critics note that consumers often prioritize taste, convenience, and price, despite any controversies swirling around. After these pieces are processed, marinated, breaded, and flash-fried at the processing plant level, they might be partially cooked, depending on the supply chain model, or shipped to individual KFC restaurants in a chilled or frozen form. The finishing touches often happen right in the store, where staff apply the final breading or marinade and pressure fry the pieces fresh before serving. This is how KFC maintains consistent flavor worldwide. Though localized menu items vary from one region to another, you may find spicier versions in Asia or specialized side dishes in Europe. So, what about the rumors that the name KFC was chosen to avoid the word fried or even chicken, purportedly because of genetically altered birds? Officially, KFC rebranded from Kentucky Fried Chicken to KFC in the early 1990s as a marketing move, aiming to modernize the logo and move away from emphasizing fried in a health-conscious era. The company has repeatedly refuted claims of lab-grown, featherless creatures or anything of the sort, calling them outright myths. Still, such rumors persist on internet forums and in occasional viral posts. Some viewers may wonder if the brand tampered with supply chain details to ensure the fastest growth possible. The truth is, broiler chickens have been selectively bred over decades for bigger breasts and faster growth, an industry-wide practice, not exclusive to KFC. These birds can appear unnaturally large compared to older breeds, leading to debates over the ethics and long-term sustainability of such practices. KFC's official stance emphasizes compliance with animal welfare regulations, but many details remain in the hands of contracted suppliers. Ultimately, the story of how KFC manages to pump out bucket after bucket of fried chicken worldwide is both a testament to modern food technology and an ongoing conversation about big agriculture. On one hand, advanced processes let billions of consumers enjoy a relatively affordable meal whenever they please. On the other, critics argue that mass production often leads to questionable living conditions for animals, potential overuse of resources, and concerns about quality. In the end, it may come down to how each person weighs the convenience and taste against the complexities behind the scenes. Whether you're a fan who appreciates the crunchy coating and consistent flavor, or a skeptic who questions the ethics and methods, there's no denying that KFC's system represents a massive feat of production. It's a highly synchronized dance of technology, biology, marketing, and consumer demand. So, does mass production brilliance accurately capture the KFC model, or is there still something hidden behind that delicious golden shell? Only you can decide if the production lines are awe-inspiring or disconcerting, or a little of both. Yet every time someone orders that signature bucket, the whole process runs forward, from egg to chick, chick to farm, farm to factory, and finally factory to frying station. If this inside look caught you by surprise or made you think twice, tell us what you found most eye-opening in the comments. Are you comfortable with the scale and methods required to bring KFC to the masses? Or do you have doubts about whether it's all worth it? The more you dig, the more questions arise about the balancing act of profit, taste, ethics, and tradition.